just come for free, saving all them gas receipts, saving up now you a beast. Diversify all your assets where they lie, keep it legal, no blocks and chain. Now blockchain, crypto streets we hang, NFTs mixed with Web3, creatively be whatever you want it to be. This America, please, you can make it. Time is now to be complacent. Indoctrinate the youth with the schools, then the schools with the news, brainwashes and fools. I am out of that new. No longer part of that crew. They was brainwashing me too. Indoctrinate the youth to the schools, then the schools with the news, brainwashes and fools. I am out of that loop. Hey, no longer part of that crew. They was brainwashing me too. Look, I'm not saying don't educate yourself. Do your own research. Go to school. Become a doctor. Whatever it is that you want to do. But get the facts.
Damn.
Yo!
Kmart, you gonna remember me when like a big deal, famous ape rapper? Are you gonna remember your boy?
Of course, bro. How can I forget you, dude? Me and you are like peas in a pod, bro. Like we speak the same creative language. You know what I mean? When I get up here, I'm like, we sit with Chris. We wouldn't have families and anything. We just keep talking all day about it.
Yep.
We love it.
We'd starve to death. We just talk, and then and then there'd be nothing left. Hey man, I love that. I thought that was super dope. Happy to see it. Hope you guys are watching on the stream. I linked it up, and you'll know which link it is because there's 8,000 links in the nest. So in like 20 minutes when you find it, then you can actually find our YouTube link so you can watch us up here. Kind of crowded up in that nest like 8 seconds into the space here. But listen, I'm pumped to be here. I love Filter Friday. I look forward to this every week. It's always a good time. The conversations are dope. We're going to do a lot of conversating with cool people. We'll do a lot of announcements. But before we talk to all our awesome guests and homies up here, we're going to run another little video. It's just kind of a little announcement, and it's just a little run through, something pretty dope. I haven't seen the whole thing yet myself. So if you're not watching the live stream, because I know a lot of you are not.
Wait. Are we going to do the ambassador?
The ambassador video, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we want to preempt that. This is for all the ambassadors out there. We made a little video of all like some stuff that you guys have done, and we just want to say we're really thankful for everybody coming on, especially the people who have been here from like the beginning to the people who just came in later. Like we got like FFV was one of the OGs, Zeppelin OGs, and then and now we got Canna Crypto coming in and hot, just coming in hot. So let's play this video, and thank you for all the ambassadors and all your support.
Appreciate you guys. Hey, and if you are watching the stream, drop us a comment. We're able to feature them and see what you got to say. So don't say anything crazy, but say some nice things, and I'll post them up. If you say something crazy, I'm not showing anybody. I might even kick you off the stream. So be nice. But all right, let's watch this video. I'm excited. Here we go.
Really, really amazing. Super happy the way this came out. The hat looks
July 31st, 555 OG Pass for 5558. Let's fucking go.
Hey, what's up, GM? Sam. So you might be asking how I got here. Jam friends.
Yo, what's up? It's your motherfucking boy here.
Hello from J Baby's desk.
That man, Pepe train is rolling hard.
GM.
That was dope. That was dope. Hey, we got some more faces here too, but that man, I was smiling that whole time. That was a cool ass video.
Me too, bro. FFB, they try to cut you out. I was like, look, you gotta put in "It's your boy, motherfucking boy, FFB."
That was so fucking dope. I laughed my ass off, dude. I was having a good time watching all
Me
that.
too, dude. I'm gonna watch that like multiple times. Is that somewhere we can download that, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, I'll drop it in Discord. And
this is the. I think this is the one
so
we're gonna drop it in Twitter on the Filter account. And
you know, and the good part is this is just the beginning, man. If you see all these videos already, everybody is, you know, hilarious doing his thing. And I bet in 12 months from now, you know, it's a zoo out there on the timelines. I can tell you.
Dude, it's right now. You're the zookeeper, Mark. Like, how? Let me just ask you really quick, because I watched that video right now, and all I could think of was like, how dope to see all this user-generated content and like all these different voices and faces and like environments and all that stuff. But like for you, man, I mean, this is a long ass time coming, and now you're just getting to see your creation in the wild, and like it's going to become whatever we make of it. Like, how has this been for you in the last few weeks?
Exactly, especially that last point you make. You know, now we're going to see what's going to happen. You know, in terms of creativity, because that's basically what we try to do, right? Give people the tools to do, you know, creative stuff. Because again, I said it already many times, but for me, one of the bigger things I was confused about when I started to learn about NFTs is the fact that I mean, it's all based on creativity, right? It's art, you know. It's not only flipping. It's a lot of people who like the art, but there's nothing to do with your PFP, and that was basically one of the drivers to start doing this. And now, yeah, I mean, seeing all these guys doing their thing, and you know, also with the knowledge that finally after 2 years we're gonna drop, right? And everything came out like what we intended, you know, what I intended, the quality and doing it on scale. I mean, this is a big thing, doing it on scale. And we did it. And now, I mean, I did some renders today, like, I don't know, like test renders, like 1,000 or something. And then you see the generator like going, and it's like poof, 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 with all different apes, all different animations. And then you really see, okay, fuck, this is, you know, there's really something there. And no, I mean, again, I would, you know, in 12 months from now, let's have another conversation and then see, you know, what people start to do. I bet that, you know, you will see screenplay scenarios played out with apes and, you know, but also Mr. Annans and, you know, probably a kid called Beast, you know, will be in there. They're all just doing their thing. So
it's great.
I'm super blessed.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, like, I'm just going to be selfish for a second. Yeah, look how dope that PFP is. Your boys rocking.
That's just dope. Look how clean that is.
I'm excited about
and I can tell you that collection. I mean, they're not all the trades are not going to be in the collection. All the trades we made, but we have like 700 trades in that collection. Right? It's enormous. I mean, way too many. But now we can cherry pick the best ones.
No, that's so cool. I'm excited, man. All right, Kimo. I know you're dying to start the convo. I am too. Go. I think this is just.
Hey, we went ahead and dropped it in from Filter. We tweeted it out. Like, retweet that for a chance to win $250. We're just gonna pick names. That there's no games today, no marbles, no AI deathmatch. We're just gonna pick names. Let the Twitter picker pick it. So like, retweet the space. Jump on YouTube, comment, say what's up.
Yeah, all right. Especially YouTube, man. People need to go to YouTube. You can't miss this shit. You know, you need to see it to believe it.
We're actually doing good. We got a bunch of faces in the house. We got Levi says bangers. I agree, Levi. Bangers. Filter face is insane, man. Like, I even just seeing these little comments on here, and of course, the lovely Karen is always in the chat and keeping things lively and all that. So This is dope, man. I love, because I come from this like YouTube live streamer space and all that. And when I found Filter and was like, yo, this is actually going to be something dope. But I had no idea that I was going to get to hang out and have these conversations and this be kind of the highlight of my week, right?
It was actually the day that Snap shut down.
Yeah.
And you lost all your filters. We had our meeting, right? And that was like, a year and a half ago, easy, right?
Yep.
At least a year ago. And we talked about it, and you were like, dude, this is going to be the shit. I mean, like, there's nothing out there. And you have your own app? Like, what? So being one of the OGs that we scooped up here, Exit Liquidity, if everybody doesn't know, my main man. Exit's been traveling.
He's back. He's back.
Exits gave everybody here the Pepe
inside
track
right now.
Oh, you're in a hotel room? Where are you now?
We got a delay.
I'm in a hotel. I'm in Dubai. We're just in a hotel right now because we changing apartments, so we're just doing like a layover in a hotel really quick while we sort it.
So how long did it take you to get to Dubai?
Oh, dude, it was rough. Getting from China to America was rough, but from Chicago to Dubai, that was pretty easy. Just one flight, direct flight, Chicago to Dubai, but still pretty long. I got a 3-year-old, so you can imagine the 14-hour flight is
not
that awesome.
How did he do?
Toddler.
He did okay?
But we made it. He did pretty well. You know, it's like going into it, I braced for the worst, you know, and then when he was okay, it was like, you know, it was all right. You get through it, but, you know, obviously it gets bumpy. But we made it. We're here now. And yeah, man, so far, so good. Off to a good start. We've been here 3 weeks now. And, man, it's popping for sure. It's pretty crazy because from everyone I've talked to, I've gone to a bunch of they got like crypto meetups pretty frequently here. And most of the people I talked to told me that like it's really slow right now. Anyone with the means to leaves Dubai in the summer because it's too goddamn hot. Like for the Americans in the chat, it's like 108 every day. I don't know what that is in Celsius, whatever the fuck Celsius is.
Yeah, it's
hot, dude. It's crazy.
No, it's
hot.
like
So
that's like 40
bounce.
Celsius, easy.
No, higher, way higher. I think it's 45.
Something like that. Yeah, I think it's like 42 or something in Celsius. Yeah. But it's hot as hell. But there's still plenty of activity going on. And I mean, the city moves quick. We met quite a few people. My wife landed a job doing real estate stuff and linked up with some people here doing a crypto thing. I'm going to start doing a crypto 101 course because we were going to these crypto meetings, like these get-togethers, and discovered pretty quickly like half the people there don't know anything about crypto. They're there to learn about crypto. They don't have
nice, dude.
They're brand new. So it's like, damn, there's a market for this. So next week on Saturday, I'm starting a crash course. It's going to be 6 lessons that run from the very basics, like get your MetaMask wallet, to like buying your first crypto, send, receive, keep your password safe. And then from there, like lesson 2 is going to be like crypto history and like actually what is the tech, what is mining, you know, what's proof of work, proof of stake, all that. Then we go into like lesson 3 will be, you know, what are like the fundamentals, what are like the top coins, what's the point of them, why are there so many of them, like what's a market cap, what's, you know, holder supply, what's this blockchain. That then number 4 is going to be like actually trading, like centralized exchange, decentralized exchange, you know, leverage trading, and most importantly just like mistake avoidance, how not to lose everything in one stupid trade. You know, like, and then number 5 is going to be like DGen 101, all the lingo, all the lore, like what is FUD, what is FOMO, what is rug pull, what is GM, what is LARP, what's all that shit. So when they get in the space, they're not confused by all this weird dumbass lingo that everyone uses. Right. And then number 6 is going to be NFTs and Web3, and if it's even worth it or not for you to get into it, because I feel like, man, once you get to the NFTs, you're like way down the fucking rabbit hole. So I'm saving that for the last one because I think most people, they just want like the super basic, like how do I have Ethereum and how do I have it on my phone and how do I send it and receive it? So we'll see how it goes. I mean, we already got I think we got 12 people that signed up already. So it should be pretty hot. I think it's like at the crypto thing, man, 2 nights ago is when we did the announcement for it. I had a couple people come up to me and they have their own exchange or their own project. And they're like, holy shit, man. They're like, all the time people are asking me the most basic questions and I don't have the bandwidth. Like I got like a company to run and I can't explain to my cousin and his girlfriends, you know, how to set up a MetaMask wallet. So they're like, do you guys do referrals? Like if I send people to you, will you give me a cut? And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. So hopefully word will get around and everyone who's into crypto, who has a friend or a roommate or an aunt or somebody they know who's been, you know, like, help me set it up. No one wants to do that shit. It's such like a,
I know, bro.
It's going to take me 2 hours to get your dumb ass caught up to speed. So I started the Crypto for Dummies here in Dubai. Yeah, Crypto for Dummies that's what I wanted to call it, but I was like, no one wants to go to the for Dummies
Crypto for Dummies.
So it's just going to be how to crypto.
Exit.
So we doing that, and yeah, man. What's up?
Yeah, we have a delay.
Go for it.
No, I was wondering if it's locals over there who don't know how it works, or are there expats or not?
It's everybody, man. It's mostly expats. I mean, Dubai is mostly expats, right? Like I think like 95% of the people here aren't from here, so it's all expats, right? But you know, it feels good. When we were in Chicago with my wife, she was like, you know, I kind of like Chicago. You know, maybe we should just stay here. And I was like, fuck that, dude. Because, you know, she's nervous. We've never been to Dubai. It's like a big step. And now that we're here, we're on the ground, we're getting going, we're knowing people. She's much more like, this was the right move. Like Dubai it's on the up and up, man. Shit moves quick. It's you can feel the vibe here is like everyone's out to get it. It's like hustle hard. It's like the right speed to be at, and it is very refreshing because, man, China was pretty stagnant for the longest time, and so this change of gears here is like most welcome. Even in like July, where it's basically dead, it's already moving really fast. And you know, they have the Dubai Ape Yacht Club here, Dubai Apes or whatever, and they actually have like parties on yachts. And I don't think they're doing one. I think it's too hot. It's like no one even wants to be on a yacht right now. It's too goddamn hot. I think the next one is going to be in September. But yeah, they do like an actual fucking yacht party, like a big ass yacht. So, but you got to have the ape. They're like strict about it. Like you actually do have to have an ape. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited for that one. It should be good networking. And yeah, I haven't, you know, it's been all face to face so far, right? But fuck, I'm waiting for the opportunity where they're like, okay, you have to have like the video call with like the boss or whatever. Cause I'm like, dude, just someone offer a video chat so I can do this filter thing when I show up in the interview.
Exit. This is
But,
something that you brought up. Like talking about the basics is super boring, right? And when you're doing it over and over again, I've seen a lot of educators get really burned out. They hate always revisiting that. But what I'll tell you is if you use that mask and you create a bunch of content that covers the basics, then you just give them one link and that walks them top to bottom through a playlist of all your basic individual videos, short consumable videos with you rocking that mask. And that basically puts that part on autopilot and be like, hit me up when you reach the bottom of the playlist. And then
and then they'll know enough to sign with you or whatever, right?
That's right. That is the way.
Absolutely. But the first thing is I got to run through the course a couple times. I want to like hone it to a fine point because I feel like until I'm actually like in it and I got like a good sample base of like the same dumb questions. I shouldn't say dumb questions, but like the same repetitive hangups that people always get caught up on. I'm not going to be able to make like quality, you know, content like this. But I do think that's for sure. If like, you know, they want to do the course, I'm like, all right, you can do, you know, maybe something like the video course is cheaper than if you do like the in-person one. And if they get the link and like, this is what I look like, they'll probably think that's pretty funny. And also they'll be like, that's cooler. And on the How to Crypto 101 thing, I definitely put my ape up there. Like I made the whole color palette, the ape, like my green background and all that stuff. And the person that I'm partnered up with that is helping me do all this, because they've been here for a long time and they have like the network for it. They're running these crypto things, you know, and we talked a little and I was just, you know, because everyone here does something like crypto related. They're working for an exchange or a project or whatever. I'm one of the few that just owns it. Like, dude, I just DJ and shit. Like I live on Uniswap. I don't know. You guys are like, yeah. there are very few people I've run into that are like they just kind of own it the way I do. Most people are very much they're wearing a suit. They work at the exchange. They came from TradFi. I show up in my like Bored Ape stuff and like shorts. Like, what do you do? They're like, dude, Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, Inu, 10. And they're like, what? What are you talking about? And it's, but
you
know,
still have that?
That makes for like a fuck yeah, I still have that. I think it's gonna be big, dude. Don't fade Harry Potter or Obama, dude. It's gonna be big. It's going places. The dumber it is, the better it does. That's the meme coin thesis for this cycle. I'm telling you, it's the narrative has changed. The narrative in 2016 that ran it was fundamentals like digital sovereignty, digital gold, you know, immutable exchange, right? That was that blew the bull market up. You know, it dovetails with like the happenings. The last one that ran through, it was like inflation, COVID, all that freak out, got to get out of like traditional assets. This next bull run that runs up, the catalyst is going to be dumb ass meme coins. Telling you, that's what's going to move the market. It's going to be TikTok kids in Africa and India who don't give a shit how the tech works. They don't care about mining. They don't care about network effect. They care about the elevator pitch. It's a funny frog coin and number go up. They have $20. They're not going to buy Bitcoin. They're going to buy the frog coin, right? And when you have a billion people moving in that same direction, it's going to, that's what's going to kick it off. So if you're fading meme coins and you're fading stupid, you're going to miss huge gain. And the dumbest shit out there right now is Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic, Inu. 10. It's going to be fucking huge. It's going to 1 billion. Fade it if you want. Fade stupid at your own peril. And picture me giving the same pitch to a room full of like quite professional like investors, and they're looking at me like, "Who the fuck invited this guy?" But you know, the real ones can see. They're like, "Yo, this guy clearly knows what he's talking about." Yeah, right. But you know, so obviously I'm making a bit of a splash already. And the person I teamed up with, you know, they were like, "Yeah, you're definitely like the guy to teach this kind of course. You know, you can." Like I'm literally preaching dumb coins. Like I'm here to bring in the dummies, right? So
wait. Let's see.
Yeah, no one. It's hard to bring people into crypto when you make it like, you know, this big thing. You know, it's like that revolutionary tech, and you know they just their eyes glaze over. They don't have time for that. Like what I'm trying to do is like, all right, give me your phone. I'm gonna put this shit on there. And I'm going to send you a little dust transaction. You're going to send it back to me. Now you know what to do. You're good to go. You're off to the races. Like, hit me up if you want to buy a meme coin. And that's like how I'm going to pitch it to people. And that's how you mass onboard fucking people to this space, right? So that's what we're going to do. And when I put the presentation up, she was like, you got to put your ape on the slide because people here do know Bored Ape Yacht Club. Even people that don't know crypto very well, they all know Bored Apes. And I was like, for real? She was like, everybody knows it. She was like, they all recognize it. They know right away what it is. I was like, it's cool to hear that. Like, even for people that are total noobs to the shit, they recognize a Bored Ape. They're like, that's the monkey NFT thing, right? And she was like, you got to put that on the slide because it'll like legitimize you right out of the gate. And it definitely did. Even when people were like talking to me, they were like, hey, that's cool monkey. And I was like, yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, and people also know. I mean, it's the same as a Rolex, right?
And she was like, "You got to put that on the slide because it'll like legitimize you right out of the gate." And it definitely did. Even when people were like talking to me, they were like,
right,
who's got the loop? Yeah, it's fine.
But you don't look worried though.
People also know. I mean, it's
somebody looked at me, right?
Rolex, right?
And she was like, "You got to put that on the slide."
All right, we're gonna do process of elimination. Who was that? That was good. So the fun thing about being on a thing with multiple
I don't think it's me.
Sound loops, it might be, but I did want to call out. I thought it was hilarious that Max said that Benjamin looks worried. He's like looking left to right, straight ass face. But hey,
I think it's because my camera is like looking up from underneath me.
I know, right? No, but check this out though. I love some exit said right now is that it's almost like, who invited this person? Isn't this supposed to be boring and like subdued and everything else? Because we're talking about money or we're talking about education. And I'm like, that is not the way. If you want to bore people, then it doesn't matter what you try to teach them because you immediately close their ears. If you don't have their eyes interested, if you don't have something that looks like, yo, there's something cool here for me, then it doesn't matter what you say. You're just gonna be muted to them. So I don't know. That's why I love that this is kind of like the Trojan horse. It gets the conversations going. It gets people interested in what else we got going. Chemo. That's why I love this.
man.
Like, well, what happened? I keep coming back and hearing myself. It's tripping me out. Chemo, let me ask you a question, man. We're gonna chop it up and talk about the content creation side of this stuff. The kind of like what it is that we're typically doing when we're going out to make videos. We're buying cameras, we're buying drones and all this different tech and all this different stuff to help us. But I feel like this is something different. You haven't seen people do this where they're actually showing up and creating like a whole persona, like Bored Becky, you know what I mean? Where she's making content and her name's not even Becky. It's a whole thing.
And she's not bored.
And she's not bored. She's having a good time. To the point. This is fun. So you tell me about this, man. What do you think about the fun, the aspect of bringing in this mask as kind of part of your gear? How's that for you?
You know, for me, it's like priceless because now I can and I ran in real life. I ran a YouTube channel. I told myself I would do it for a year. And every week I shot a video of a job that I had done that actually took a year to do. I told myself I was going to do it, but bro, it was a lot of work. I was the cameraman. I was the drone pilot. I was this and I was that, all that. And then when I got out there, it was still just me. Like nobody knows who I am. Like, who is this guy? I think my one has like 1,000 views and it was like 7 years ago. So you put in all that work and you're wondering like, why am I not getting the branding that I want? Well, putting this filter on, now I created Chemo, which I'm just going to let everybody in on a little secret. I don't rap anything. That music video that was in the beginning was somebody else. I've been the people who are in the guitar, who play the bass, all those people aren't me. I have used my filter and given it to different people to do what they're strong at. I'm strong at filming. That's what I'm strong at, okay? Creating the content, getting the creativity out there. That's where the magic happens because this in 6 months is going to be like, oh, you don't have a character? Like, who are you? People aren't even going to recognize you. And as you can see, just by today, Exit telling us that he showed up in Dubai after being in China and America and all this stuff and showed up with that PFP and everybody knew who he was. Everybody knew the club he was in, how big the club is, you know what I mean? How successful the club is. And they welcomed him in right in. And he speaks truth and he knows what he's talking about. So that further backs up this persona, right? So when I go into thinking about, oh, what do I need? I need the newest iPhone Pro every single year. I have to stay up on the tech. That's $1,000 easy, right? Yep. The newest drone comes out. I wait a couple years because Mavic, I had the first big one. And then now they got the smaller one, upgraded. My gimbal had a regular Osmo, went with this one. It has a camera on it that moves the gimbal with and tracks your face. It just moves the gimbal, so you don't have to have an application on the phone, which is like the problem with DJI. The problem with all these ones is you have to link to the phone and then you can do it on the phone. Well, when you have the filter, you have your own application here. Okay, this is a proprietary iOS application that we built from scratch. And this is where the filter lives. So tracking it, we had to come up with new technology. And this right here, it works perfect. And it follows me everywhere I go. So when I'm buying gear and I'm buying stuff and I'm thinking about my brand, there's no limit. 500. I'm sitting here with probably $2,000-$3,000, not even including the phone and the computer to make content. This is my hustle, my job, my side hustle. I don't even know. You know what I mean? It's not for the money, that's for sure. It's definitely not for the money.
Right.
True.
It's so crazy, man. I think about the joke that we used to tell people all the time was like, if you want to give somebody good advice about how they can make better content, it's like, I don't know, be a cute girl and sit on the edge of your bed talking to the camera. Like that's how you're gonna get more views. Like, or you know,
That
how to be a
NPC
better
shit.
basketball player. Like, be 7 feet tall. Like, you can't control those things. You know, if you're not it, you're not it. But that shouldn't mean that it's the end of you know, of that effort. I personally, I want to start getting into like making content about stuff that I'm a big nerd about, but that's not necessarily like tied in with my brand or anything, but like making Star Wars content where I mean, I could actually show up, have a whole channel of me just talking about Star Wars. It doesn't have to be my voice. It doesn't have to be my face. And if I am on camera, it doesn't actually have to be me. It can be a filter. It could be whatever. So I just think about that. Like, how many people are going to be that one-man army that, you know, like the name of my company is Shredditor. It means that you could shoot, you could produce, and you can edit. You're all of those things and more, right? That doesn't have that, let alone posting on the social media, copywriting, like all these roles. Content creators do so many different people's jobs, and they do it all for themselves, and and there's nobody helping them. There's the producer's not telling the editor what to change because it's the same person. So I think about how this is going to be with Mr. Anna when it comes out, and I think about Rafsby showing up with the, you know, with the board or the Kid Called Beast masks, and you know, seeing Mac down here, and like when all these different people get a hold of their stuff, or when we were watching Thread Guy prior to turning his back on Yuga and ditching the mutant. What if he shows up with the freaking O'Peppin mask and it's moving its weird little face? So weird. But it just to say, as a content creator, like, you know, the camera. If I put this camera right here on screen, this is a special tripod to help me hold the camera in a right way, vlog style. It's a special mic, right? Even the little cord that connects the mic to the camera, like all these different things, they're all expenses. And so on top of everything else, then it's like you said about the phone. Well, are you getting a new phone every single year? Because I think with this, it kind of introduces this idea of you're able to get the thing one time, and without it even being a pitch, it's just a practical move. Like, I'm going to have to replace that camera. But if my IP is based on the stuff that I'm doing with these masks, like, I don't know. Let's look at this guy, Zeppelin. This guy's making comedy stuff like that. That's a big part of it, man. Instead of buying a new camera, he just got his mask. He doesn't have to change that. He just keeps building it. So, what do you think, man?
What's up? Yeah, I'm kind of like Chemo. I've put a little money into it. Even with the comedy, you know, getting the backdrop and the you know, the kind of setup. I got a lot of stuff, period. So I had the microphone and, you know, the kind of the stool, just a little basic setup. But yeah, I'm like, just like Chemo, I've done reviews too. And man, I'm still experimenting. You know, I don't know where this is going to take me, but I keep getting ready for the next thing. And recently I was talking to Chemo, and I built this big, you can't see it, but I built this big desk. And it's like a multimedia desk. I can use it for interviews. I can use it for like talk shows. I can use it for reviews. I can, like, it's massive. And it took me a long time to build, but it's an investment. And I'm going to use it no matter what. But if I create content, or if something comes up, if somebody wants me to review something or interview, I'm ready. I always like to be ready. And I like this. The filter is another piece of that. I'm ready. You want me to do something? You want me to be part of a show? You may be part of a band. You may be part of a comedy, anything. It just lets you be ready. So that's kind of where I'm at, man. Just kind of feeling out which direction I'm going to go in, and just be ready for it. Have fun. So that's
having fun, man. That's the thing. Having fun like that. That's the thing I'm super excited about. I know this guy likes to have fun, because half the time when I go to him, he falls asleep.
It's your boy.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, FFV? You're not asleep, man. You caught me off guard. I'm like, oh wait, he's got his Apple Vision Pro and he's ready to talk. This is wild.
Ready, man. I'm ready. No, yeah, I just gotta mirror what Zeppelin and Kimo are saying. And to be honest, man, you know, I've mentioned this before. You know, all this social media stuff is pretty brand new to me, and you know, now I've got like fucking lights, like stage lights. I've got a green screen now. I've got microphones and a ring light in front of my face, so the everything could be captured a little bit better, and all these different things. And chemo, now that chemo brought that thing up with the thing that follows you around, I definitely have to get that. That sounds badass. But yeah, I just really want to you know just want to like deliver great quality content and make it look nice, and I'm in a very lucky position where I'm able to get the equipment that I need to to do that kind of stuff. Oh, that's I don't know if you guys saw my cat. That was my
Yeah.
cat. But yeah, man, I'm just super excited to do all of this, man, because I wake up and oh man, dude, I can't stress enough how hard everything is creating content. There's a lot of details, lots of details that that make everything go around and make it look nice, make it look everything look crisp, everything look good, So I really respect a lot of people that are just out there just creating content on the daily, and I'm getting the hang of it. I'm like, the gears are going, and I'm starting to get the hang of it a little bit. But once I get my groove on, I think it'll be much better and smooth. Everything will look better, and with the rise of AI, man. I mean, there's a lot of things out there that could be automated as well. I mean, I use a couple of AIs now that I much better and smooth. Everything looks better, and with the rise of AI, did that you guys hear me?
Yeah, that was so weird.
That was weird.
It was the rise of AI.
What?
Yeah.
We're like, yo, listen to this fucking guy, dude. Make sure he's not talking shit. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
The Matrix.
Cortana's out there, but I use a couple of AIs. I throw my podcast like an hour, at least an hour and a half, and it chops up, clips of my podcast. It borders it, subtitles it, and then it gives me the landscape for YouTube, Reels, TikTok, Twitter, whatever I need it to be. You know what I mean? Without me actually knowing how to do any of that, going out and finding what dimensions it is that I need or whatever. And discovering new tools out there is great. But it's a great time, and I can't stress this enough. It's a great time right now to learn how to, or to at least sharpen up your content creating skills, because this space is inevitable, and before we know it, the rest of the world will be here, and there's a lot of amazing content creators out there. A mid-level content creator out there would body a lot of us out there. I've said it before, and I just want to give you guys a heads up that it's coming whether we like it or not. But I'd rather us be the voices of that, us sharpening our skills, because we were here and we have the experience and we know the knowledge to guide people the correct way. So let's not get left behind.
Man, I love to hear it. That's like the gospel to me, man. When I entered the space, I was like, I don't think these people care about that stuff. This is so weird to me. Like, they've got all these awesome connections with each other, people doing cool things, big companies, big money over here. This person's got that going. But I was like, where's the content? Like,
yeah,
they don't care. And I think it's because they were winning without bothering with that.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
so I think complacency was a little bit of the answer at the time when I came in. And I was kind of like thrown off by it. And I was like, of all places you would think people would be the most creative and come out with stuff that just blows the world away, invent new tech, you know what I mean? Like, bring stuff to the table, create those AI programs, all that. This would be the group to do that. And it's crazy that only now in the bear market are you just getting to start seeing these breakout things. And for me, when I saw Filter, I knew that was one of those things way back. Well, I mean, I'm talking like, I don't know, Mark, whenever I hit you up the first time, bro, I'd been seeing it. And then I finally was like, oh, he's the guy behind that thing. Oh, I'm going to hit this dude up, because I knew this was one of those. But man, it's super.
I completely agree with you with the complacency thing. And also, it's also, it was a brand new landscape, and, a lot of people weren't, a lot of people were still trying to figure out who or what they were trying to be and do. And Like you said, I mean, everybody was at Twitter at the time, just Twitter. The whole entire community was at Twitter. So there wasn't a lot of things that they could have done. I mean, that was before Twitter Blue. So it was like before the long form text, before the long form videos was allowed, before, all this other cool stuff that you can do now on Twitter. But it's expanding. We're expanding, and I love to see it. And it does suck that a bear market has to like push us to do all this creativity. But if it has to be like that, it has to be like that. I think it needed us to be like this. Otherwise, it's just going to be all of us in a big ass circle jerk, just hyping each other up. But
yeah, well, they say success is not the best teacher. You know what I mean?
Seriously,
it doesn't teach you anything,
right?
Actually, you need to grind. But no, it's very interesting. I have a small question for you, Chris, because I saw, I think it was on Twitter. You were doing something with you thought you discovered something on Twitter, something with a live feed, and I was immediately like, what the hell is this? Let's listen. Because that's the big thing, obviously, for us with the technology. If Elon decides to start live streaming,
sure,
it's an interesting. But it was nothing, I believe.
No,
it was like
it was.
flag.
I was wrong.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Yeah, I got a
Tell
big
me.
YouTube video that I've been. I was almost late to the space today because I was deep in the edit. I spent a bunch of time making it the nice thumbnail and doing all the things. But this is what I could tell you right now is if I weren't actually trying to tie in the audio and do all this, and I was just kind of kicking back on stage like a lot of times I am when I'm doing these live streams. One of the things that I can do right now, because I'm live streaming this to the Filter YouTube account, but I'm also live streaming it to my personal account, right? So if you go look on the Chris D profile, you'll see this live stream happening. But what it's really doing is it's actually pumping this video and all the things that happen in it into my account. And I can edit live real time in a program that's new to Twitter that I think I've seen some information about, but I think they just did a huge overhaul on it. It's called Live Cut. And so for everybody that's watching this or listening that doesn't know, if you're not using video and doing live streams with Twitter, not only are they encouraging it, they built a full video editor for you. And it's one of the coolest video editors I've ever worked with for making clips. So clippable content, you think about one of the problems in this space is people sit 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours in these spaces, and then the space goes away, and then that's it. No evidence that it ever happened besides whatever people took from it and put into action. But if you're doing a live stream 5, 6 hours in these spaces, what is happening? That's so weird. It's saving all of this. And so I can go through, I can clip this moment of me talking about this and just post this one little thing. I could be doing that while we're still live because Twitter's live cut is just powerful and it's easy to use. And it's right there where I could save all the little individual clips, anything that I want. And then I could tweet them out individually. I could do it today. I could do it tomorrow. I could revisit that a month from now. And all of those little clips that I set to the side of whatever something cool that happened was like ready to go. Click a button and it tweets it out. So I think we're going to see a lot of people start taking advantage of Twitter because nobody knows that this is even there. For everybody listening, if you have Twitter Blue, if you're on desktop and you click on your profile and you go down to the little part that says more, right? You have a thing that says Media Studio. You didn't used to have access to that. That used to only be part of the ad tools in Twitter. But now you have a Media Studio. And every video and picture that you've posted over the past couple of weeks is saved in your Media Studio. And so you can go revisit any of those things. You can modify if you posted a video and you want it to have like a better thumbnail, right? So that if you DM it to somebody and it shows that still frame, if the first frame on your video looks like mine do, it's usually me with my mouth half open about to say the first word. I'm like that's what's on the thumbnail. And if I want to change that to something else, I could just go into that Media Studio, update the thumbnail, and now it looks better. And now if I want to add metadata and a title and I want to add a link so that you can be on desktop and click on a link that's on my video and it takes you to my website, I could do that because of the Media Studio. But then there's a whole thing called the producer section, and that's what my video is about today. So that'll go out, and it's just me trying to share everything that I'm learning about content creation that's coming to Twitter. and putting it in the hands of everybody else. Because I'm going to tell you this: nobody in crypto Twitter knows about the video that I'm going to put out today. They just don't know, but I want them to. It's not gatekeeping. So using these masks, I feel like what a kick-ass perfect alignment is that we get to do these spaces and do it. So don't ask me about content creation, Mark. I won't stop talking.
No, I know, man. That's how we met. That's how I discovered you in the beginning. I remember, like, you were actually one of the first guys I really had, a first meeting with. I mean, we already had like a prototype, but no, it was very interesting. But so Periscope is not happening, right? Of Twitter.
So Periscope is the coding that allows the video to go from outside of Twitter into Twitter. And it just means just chalk it off as like, it just means Twitter live streaming. That's it. So if you see Periscope anywhere, it's just because there's pre-existing coding from a company they bought and integrated, but now they're actually putting it to use big time. So I was wrong when I said it's nothing. I just didn't realize
exactly.
It's a big deal, but you have to have a video that was live streamed into your account. If you don't have that, there's nothing to work with.
No, I understand. Yeah, I think that Elon will probably bring a lot of good stuff for content creators now that they start paying. I mean, I saw a check or a screenshot from 6 checks or something, the biggest checks, like 10,000, 20,000 payout. Oh shit!
Yeah, and then everybody like put their own name on it, so you notice like the the @ is a different, like a slightly darker black than the other text on the screen.
Yeah. Hey, but how refreshing is it to see a guy like, I'm a fan, but to see him like execution, like bam, 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 bam. It's unbelievable, and that's also good for like young entrepreneurs to see that, you can really make a difference quickly if you really put your mind to it. And he's showing it. So now I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, that's super cool. Well, listen, Mark, I know there's some stuff that, I want you to have the opportunity to talk about on the stream. But before we hop full steam ahead with Mark, I just want to throw it real quick to Benjamin, because he looked like he was worried. Maybe he was worried I was going to throw him on screen and just hit him cold, bro. What?
The brim,
the flip up hat and all that stuff. Like, let's go.
It's crazy how it just can really portray whatever facial expressions we're actually showing. This thing is just so dynamic and so incredible. And, I've used plenty of other filters before, especially like the Snapchat type ones, and they're just not as responsive as this is. So it's awesome to be able to use. And when someone called me out for looking a little worried, I looked at it, I was like, wow, it looks like that.
Yeah, you can't hide. That's cool.
Yeah, I need to get my camera more like front facing.
Well, I mean, this is not a bad angle, to be honest. You look like a fighter with a big jaw.
I've been getting beat up in this market for sure.
It makes it look like you're really the ape. Like, truthfully, I feel like some of these things, sure, if you get it all set up perfect, it'll have a certain aesthetic. But also the fact that it's got this upward angle, and it looks like you're just an ape sitting there with your Shure mic ready to talk on a live stream. It's great. I think it's dope.
I'm a streaming ape, man.
That's right.
So Ben, being that what we've been talking about, and I can see you have that's a $100 microphone at least, right there. What do you think about, like, is it worth the cost to get a filter, like to add to your content creation bundle of stuff that you use as a tool?
I mean, me personally, yes. And I think that answer would, kind of be a little nuanced depending on, what kind of presence you have online, because there's a lot of people who don't necessarily create content, but still have like video calls and different things like that, where they want to remain more anonymous and more private, especially in the NFT and crypto space. So, worth and value, that's different to each person. But I think that for this industry and the sake of what we do here with digital identity, and also the pseudo-anonymous nature of how people, present themselves online, I think it makes a lot of sense for sure. And one of the cool things is, if you have multiple apes or multiple NFTs, you can have different personalities and different personas using the same camera, the same person, and you're allowed to, you know, show different versions of yourself. Like if you're into different topics, you know, I have maybe I use my red angry ape to talk about crypto prices or something, and I use this one to talk about, you know, smoking weed. But you know, whatever like angle you want to take, you can use different personas. No, go ahead.
No, I said it's up there. We see it. This is the weed smoking one. There's the bong right there.
Oh yeah, I see it. I have a bong here also, I believe.
Like I do a lot of
Let's do a hit.
Wow.
Yeah. Live.
Wow.
Oh, cool. Like, are we gonna get flagged for like animal endangerment?
No. Who was it who had the cat running in the background?
That was FFV.
That's so dope.
Yeah, and guys, it's great to see Benjamin with us because, you know, Benjamin is one of the advisors of the project, and in the beginning, you know, Ben and I had a lot of discussions about, you know, the market, and he really educated me, you know, with the do's and the don'ts, because, you know, I'm from Web 2. I mean, okay, I'm not going to say I'm old, but sometimes I feel old, you know. I mean,
Web 1.5.
Yeah, exactly. No, so I mean, you know, the first time I saw Ben, I think it was on morning show NFT Nifty or whatever the name is. I saw, you know, him being interviewed, and you know, Ben is like more like, you know, the calm guy. You know, he knows what he's talking about. He's not going like all over the place, what you see a lot in the space, which is also good. But you know, it resonated with me more like somebody calm. And I mean, we had a ball, and now you know, it's good to see him up here again and using his filter. It's pretty exciting, you know, after 2 years to you know, to do this. And I think, you know, everybody is, you know, I mean, everybody loves the technology, you know, I hear that from all sides, but now it needs to prove itself, right? I mean, in terms of more like the mass, and so it's pretty exciting. But this already, I mean, I'm looking now at the screen and I see like, you know, 6, 7 apes, 5.
I always see Pope. Look at
let's get Pope up here. What's
Pope is
up,
the one
Pope?
that
Let's go, Pope.
Hi. How we all doing?
Hi.
I was a little late to the party because I'm normally in the background of the space. And how I actually found the project was Ben. I've been in the space for years, and he was an OG back then making content. And when I saw this, I was like, holy shit. Mm-hmm. Right. And I've been, as you guys were talking before, I was usually just a guest speaker talking about crypto on spaces. If you caught me, you caught my picks. You typically did very well, but that was it was gone. And I was never one of those people to go out, get followers, hustle, create content. It was really never my thing. I was more doing technical analysis, working on algorithms and things like that. And then when it came to the bear and the build time, and I could really see a lot of the effects of, you know, the projects that were staying and how this was still being implemented into society, that it wasn't going anywhere, became really interesting. And then I decided to step out of my comfort box and actually become a content creator. And if you would have asked me a year, 2 years ago, would you be thinking of creating content? I would have been like, are you mad? Like, pass me that bomb, you know? And now, you know, we were talking about cost earlier. I'm fortunate, thanks to crypto, I get to live a somewhat lifestyle. And I decided, hey, if we're going to do it, these are all tools. These are tools for a job. And the better tools you have make your job easier. That's true for any job. Now, I was meeting Chemo late at nights, early in mornings. He's giving me advice, and I've walked him through my setup. Like, I've got studio light. This is my dining room. Because now I've got ring lights, you know, box lights, underlighting, multiple cameras, and all that kind of a stuff. But you know what the coolest thing about this tech? Because I had gotten into this a little bit before I got this tech. All you need is a modern day iPhone and the filter. So your actual entry cost to create your brand, like I've been in business. I'm an old dog in this room. I'm almost 50. I've been my boss for 28 years. This is probably your lowest cost of branding.
Yep.
And how great, people don't forget something like this. This doesn't look like, just pastel colors. You get my wrinkles. How'd they know I was this old? Like you get all that with that. And if you're producing any kind of meaningful content, it's just that much stickier. Like Chris was saying, like I could sit here and talk about all my crypto stuff back and forth. And if I did it with my normal face, how long is the retention? Right? But since I do talk about it as a lot, I kind of am flipping between both. And I'm going to use this ape as my alternate ego in the whole crypto world, right? So you can have these different characters. And then the filter itself, since I have multiple apes, I could be another character. Like, that's crazy, right?
That's so
555 ape. If you are not experienced in business and you don't really understand startup costs, an iPhone and this is probably your cheapest level entry I've ever seen to the impact that it can have. And that to me is where I got excited. And it also helped sometimes with the nerves for me too, because I'm not normally doing anything like this. And when I get passionate or want to talk about something a little more risque in my field, it's nice to have that alternate identity, right? But if you want to talk like gentleman was talking earlier, exit and doing the educating, and there are times when you go in the room and unfortunately you have to be that shirt and tie kind of experience. And I hate that part. I've never been that way. Like,
yeah, me too.
Right. But no, how good it is, how reasonable it is, and how much fun it is. Like it comes across. That to me I've been blown away. I'm so glad I got to be an ambassador and I got caught near the end. We got talking and they're like, well, what are you thinking of doing? And I'm like, well, I'm going to teach people how and what I do for a living. And you guys were talking earlier about what did it take in the past to be a content creator. First off, props to all of you. Had no idea how much freaking work this is. And the learning curve. Jesus. The learning curve. Jesus. But okay, so I'm about to start a day in a life of Web3 trading. Follow me along, kind of a thing, right? I'm going to start with $1,000, $2,500, $5,000, and $10,000 budgets. How long does it take me to 10x each one of those budgets, right? Using my tools that my team developed. That, if you want, have them. And what we're going to do with that is just document the journey. Instagram will be kind of like the lifestyle. YouTube is going to be the tutorials, follow along, right? Now, Crypto Katie is brand new, as she calls herself, unapologetically new. Brand new to the space, knows nothing. So it's a great documentation of her journey. I've been in the space for almost 3 years, right? I'm not going, hey, follow me, right? So I only have a couple thousand followers. I bet you why she'll beat me is because she's a pretty girl. I'm like, we want to take bets. Who's going to get the follower count faster? I'm like, you.
Not you.
You're hot.
It's not fair.
Wait, hold on. How many followers?
No, I'm really excited that they can't come fast enough. I'm excited to create a couple of different characters. Anybody that has ever seen this that I've shown it to is just like,
yep.
Right? Like it really shows the power of where we're at currently in technology. Augmented reality is going to be so much bigger than people give it credit for. What was that Tom Cruise movie way back in the day when he's like
Minority Report?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like how fucking close are we to that? Right?
We're
like,
there right now.
Pretty close.
Right? And that was like a concept then. It's like Star Trek all over again. Like almost everything they've done except the holodeck, which isn't far with metaverse, is now real. Right? So yeah, I think I'm excited. I'm passionate. I think it comes across. At least I hope it does. And I think if people have access to these kind of IP, and you're just catching about this now, count your lucky stars, because 555 8, and if we're 8, let's be honest, fuck off.
and like let's think about it, like this in the hands of an actor, right? And they're all pissed off because their face is gonna go get scanned. Go get another face, create another persona. I mean, they are actors. They literally do this for a living and become something else. So imagine once like Web 2 side gets this, and that's where Filter is not just Web 3. You know what I mean? Our application is on the App Store. Okay, we are approved on the App Store. So that means that we have the entire globe once we get out of the Bored Ape Yacht Club and the Bored Filter to where it's just we can drop filters whenever we want to the world, and they all can go to the central place to get it. So that's why Filter is going to be a lot bigger than people are like, oh, it's really small, only 555.
Exactly. And then as a Genesis pass, you get each one of those.
OMG.
You know what?
OMG.
And we're spending money on shit coins, people. You want to know why people woke up? You know what the hardest thing I found to do, honestly, and everybody has the same problem, is teach money. Everybody is in the same.
Wait! I gotta teach money really quick. Here, this is something very important about teach money. Go into the Discord right now. Say the word hi. Just say hi, and then retweet the ambassador video. That's what you should do if you're listening to this, and that will teach you how to make $250 because someone's gonna get it. That's all I had to contribute to how to make money.
Well, Chris, maybe you can explain also how people can check the stream. I see a lot of people on the stream, but
sure. Okay, so check this out. I don't know how many things that we have up top here. Wow. Okay, all the way to the far left. The pinned tweets at the top of the space here, the far left is a thank you video for our ambassadors. So that's what we want you to retweet out, because we're going to do a Twitter picker and somebody's going to win a couple $100, $250. And you go just to the right of that video, you can click on the link. And if you have YouTube installed on your phone, it'll force open the app, and then you can watch us and you can interact and you can, leave comments. And I mean, check out this comment right here. It says, Kay suggested the couple of projects that I'm in to reach the team before the rebranding. Honestly, I said, this is the future, a freaking game changer. That was EY. He just commented, and we appreciate that. All the people, we've got hundreds of comments from today. So I do appreciate that. I love that people are watching the stream. And I do encourage you, if you haven't said hi in the Discord, that's all you got to do. Just click on the Filter Studios main brand account. You got the links right there. It's got the link tree. You can end up in the Discord, say hi, just be tapped in. That's all I wanted to say. $250. I'm sure Pope had way smarter stuff to say than that.
No, it's money, bro.
What you do is retweet for $250. Most people how long for how many dollars? Easy breezy. And that's what I mean. The hardest thing is to actually teach people money and have it feel sincere. They don't actually want to believe it, right? And I think whoever said it earlier, they were like, if you actually have this, they kind of take you more seriously, which sometimes actually blows my mind, but it kind of makes sense, right? And is that disbelief? But no, it's exciting, man. There's a lot going to be coming. You're going to see a lot of this guy coming. I'm going to be reporting on what I do for a living and how everybody can just follow along or watch all my how-to videos, and then our Discord. And I love that other people are starting to share and show this crazy world that we all technically live in, and that's what I love about the space. Web 2 or old business earlier, everything was like guarded. It was like industry secrets, right? I was like, I'm actually thinking about content creation. And so many people are like, hey, you need this, you need this, you need this, you want to check out this, you got to do this. And I was like, holy shit. Why do people go to school anymore?
The game is changing.
But it's been a cool ride. It's been a cool development from the early OG NFT times to now the implementation of that technology and the reach that that technology can have.
Yep. No, I love the question about why go to school. And there's a lot of reasons to go to school for networking and for certain industries. Like if you didn't go to school and my kid gets hurt and I got him at the hospital, you're not touching him. You know what I mean? I need to know you had like a ridiculous.
You're not learning money there.
Yeah, I'm not just in school. I have 3 university degrees.
I really have a hard time. I had a very bad experience with college and I got caught right in the mix. For those of you that are not the 20-year-olds, but there was a show that came out called CSI. And when CSI came out, you had every kid who wanted to be a, football star, all the jocks, every single one of those kids, they saw CSI and what they realized was, man, these people are making money. All I need to do is get this weird degree from these tech schools that are normally teaching about how to make video games and art students and stuff like that. I just need to go there, get an easy degree, and I'll be making bank instead of being a security guard. And what I saw happen right in front of me is colleges said, okay, here's all the stuff we have, but we're going to scrap that because CSI has so much ratings. All these kids want to come in and get this new degree. We're just going to put all the jocks in with all the nerds, and they're going to pay for us to make all this money. And it was a weird shift that I saw. That was like 2004. And it was a very strange shift. And at that point, education for me just looked like a cash grab. Sure, we want our doctors, our lawyers. There's certain things that we need people to be in, but there's such a massive amount of information out there for us for free. If you just go to the YouTube University, you know what I mean? Just watch.
Or the Google University. And if you were watching my eye there, that was me just even moving it. Like, this is how good this tech is.
Crazy.
Right? It's how good it's tracking. Like, again, I can't wait to see what my pink fur 8 looks like. I'm stoked.
What's it gonna look like, Mark? Talk to us. What's the pink fur gonna look like? We need to hear.
I mean, I'm constantly talking, but I'm muted. Oh man, it's late. It's Friday. No, but I saw him doing that like with a laser, and it reminded me a little bit. I read an article about the glasses, the AR glasses, and how they track the pupils. That you actually the mouse is actually your pupil. So you look at something and then it activates. It's unbelievable. And that's basically more or less the same what we're doing with the laser, but different.
So cool. So cool. Well, tell us.
Can I already jump in a little? Oh, I think we have something. What do we have, Chris?
Oh, you want to play the thing first? And then you're going to switch? Okay.
I want to talk a little tiny bitty about utility, what comes with the pass. Okay, because a lot of people already know this, but for the people who don't know and who are in the space, but I mean, the OG Access Pass is filled with different types of utility, and I think it's not needed to go into all of those, but people need to understand that an OG Access Pass gives you access to all our AR applications, right? So the iOS app is done. I mean, we're all using it now. And the Mac application and Windows, I mean, at this moment we are working on that, but that's like a roadmap thing, but that's going to be pretty fast when that's done. And then obviously we have the free mint, which is a very interesting one. I mean, I get a lot of DMs of people who don't hold apes and ask me if they can buy an OG pass. Or they have the intention to buy an ape later. So yeah, let's see how that goes. But we have a free mint for every future collection. And maybe with some collections, we don't give away one free mint, but maybe two, if it fits the collection. So there's a lot to gain there. And then the other one is an interesting one. And, we were already mentioning that about, having multiple apes. An OG Access Pass, only one pass gives you access to all the apes you actually own, the BYC. So that's very interesting. If you, I mean, I never thought about it, but you said it just now, and I thought, yeah, indeed, if you have multiple apes, you can have different characters, in terms of expressing yourself, which is pretty dope. And then we have another piece of utility, and that's the Is my sound okay or not?
I think you're good.
Okay, I'm good. And that's the, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, we have digital wearables, right? This is a part of the project. You know, you can customize your ape. So what we did with the OG Pass, the OG Pass has a crown. It's called the OG 555 crown. We have a gold one, bronze, silver, and platinum. So that crown is not a separate NFT. It's always connected to the pass you own, and you can wear it. And I think Chris has a little bit of a nice video.
You want me to roll it? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, here's here's the new video. I'm excited about it too. All right, it is right here. Let's go.
OG baby.
That was so cool to see. Hey, man, that was a nice little transition for Mark there. Check that out.
And it's real diamonds, bro. Honestly, real diamonds. Yeah. So this is just a nice thing to have, you know, that if you are an OG, that you actually have something really special. And yeah, I like it. It looks good. I don't know if a lot of people are going to flex this online, but you know. Why not?
I think it's cool. Like I've seen a lot of digital wearables. I remember one of the first experiences that I had, like late 2021, was crypto voxels, and like I got some digital wearables and that, and I'm like, cool, but like I am never, ever, 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 ever going to use any of this, and it's because, like, unlike with the filter app, like, you're gonna use your filter. You're gonna use your mask, your ape mask, or your like whatever's to come, Mr. Anon and stuff. And it's like, to have a digital wearable on that actually makes a ton of sense. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if people just feeling a little royal for the day and rock the crown. I think that's dope.
No, exactly. And also with brands, because that's the interesting angle also, that once we have like volume with Mr. Anon and the other collections, that brands can step in and have access to a younger audience with like cool hats or sunglasses or so. I mean, I've been pushed back by the team a lot because I already wanted to make all of those deals, but they said you need to wait. So, but I know it's coming. I mean, we are talking now with a really big brand, and that's a very interesting one. If we can pull it off, But first we need to get some volume to get them more interested. And so, guys, yes, let's go a little bit into the mint itself, right? And then supply versus scarcity. I mean, I'm also curious what my fellow speakers think of the scarcity 555 against 10,000 apes. I did take a look today how many unique holders the basic community has, and I always look as a source. I go to ApeCoin and then I go to the marketplace, and sometimes I strongly believe in numbers, like angel numbers and all of those things. And I was taking a look, and the counter said 5550 unique holders. And I mean, it's an OG 555 pass. It's 555 ApeCoin, and unique. I mean, maybe it changed because it changes per day, but they're 5,555 like a unique wallet. So it's exactly 10%. So if you really think about it, 10% is only available for all the holders. It's an interesting dynamic to see what's going to happen there, and I mean, bases are being sold every day to new owners. I think a lot of the base holders, we couldn't reach them for obvious reasons. They're not on crypto Twitter but on a certain moment, I think that they will start to discover, okay, what we are doing actually, and be of interest. So that's a very interesting dynamic to see that to play out. I don't know. Maybe I had a lot of talks with Benjamin about this, about the supply. Sorry, I'm messing up my sheet here. So Ben, what do you remember what you told me in the beginning
about supply?
Yeah. That we came up with a 555 eventually.
Well, I think the thing was that you wanted to do multiple different tiers and different supplies, and to have a more exclusive, like all-encompassing pass that if you have more than one ape, you could use them no matter what, and you have access to future collections. I think gives a nice premium to the early supporters and people who are the OGs and are willing to, kind of stick their necks out with you in order to support your vision early on. I think projects in general should always try and add value, add benefit to the people who are there first. And so having a smaller supply gives people the opportunity to have early value, but also the potential that if they wanted just a single ape or something like that, to potentially have a higher supply collection down the line for each individual collection, where if you didn't want the actual like OG pass that has all the mints for all future collections in it, then you could do, one mutant ape. Oh, shit. Sorry. You could do like, if you do a mutant ape collection, then you could have, a single pass for that for just that one mutant. And if you wanted to do, I don't know, I would always throw out like one of the cute ones, like a Doodles or a Cool Cats or something like that, like for the younger kids. Something like that, where you don't need the apes, you don't need the Mr. Anon, but you wanted just one of those collections that could happen later on, then you don't have to necessarily be one of the OGs. You could just, have that longer term adoption for the later comers in the group. So having a smaller collection that gives a lot of immense value up front for the people who are most involved in the community, I think makes a lot of sense. And not having too many different tiers and options that could get confusing, especially early on where you're mostly marketing to like Bored Apes or people who just believe in the tech.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. No, we had a lot of discussions about, maybe open up the mint for everyone, but I mean, on a certain moment, you just need to make a decision and just go with it so that everybody knows, okay, these are the objectives. But yeah, no, I'm psyched
because it just starts here. That's why. And then I agree. And I'll be upfront. At first, we'll let you inside a filter a little bit. I didn't like that. When Mark told me what Benjamin said, I was like, dude, that guy's crazy. Why? You did all the work. You know what I mean? And I'm being honest. You know what I mean? And then as we started going through, and then the market started to get worse and worse, but then we were still like gaining followers and producing content. And I was like, wow, you know what? It is a lot harder to hit 555 if there's only 800 people on Twitter. Like we just went on, we've had 2 calls in the last 2 days with apes that we talked to that weren't even on Twitter. You know what I mean? So we don't even know what we don't know yet. And Benjamin, I gotta say, he came to the plate, and that's a bold statement to tell this guy, hey, you just made 10,000 of these. We're only gonna sell 555, and you're like, right? And like everybody else, we're all in shock. Like, I mean, what does this mean? But really, when I came up with the ape coin and using the 555, and I was like, that's it. That all makes sense. But
exactly, and that's what I mean. I mean, with those numbers, right? I look at the marketplace, and I see 5550, and sometimes the universe works in like strange ways. If you I mean, I don't want to sound too corny, but it's just sometimes coincidence are not coincidence maybe. Who knows?
Dude, he ain't no joke. Can I share my screen real quick, bro? He's not lying, dude. Now there's a 9 at the end, but it's still there, dude. Holy shit.
Something I think also that led to that point about like the supply is that if you were trying to market, you know, and again the price isn't the cheapest one, right? So if you're trying to have 10,000 of those selling to apes and there's, you know, roughly 5,000 to 6,000 total people, and then if you expect them to buy multiple in order to use multiple apes, I think that people would mostly just want to buy one and use a single ape. But if people do have multiple apes, giving them the option to be able to use different ones amongst the same pass and still have access to whatever future collections would come out, I think that's a lot of value. And I think it looks a lot worse if you have a huge supply and barely any of them sell, right? So starting off with a smaller group of the people who really support you, I think makes a lot of sense. But also, like, as an advisor, it's my job to look at everything and give my advice. And at the end of the day, like, there's money in, when you look at supply and mint price, and there's an X amount of dollars you expect to get. So anytime a project like cuts the price or cuts the supply and doesn't rebalance, like if you cut the supply and don't jack up the price, you're losing money. But it depends on what kind of vision you have. And if you have a short-term vision, then of course you're going to try to pump out as much as you can and get every dollar upfront from the community that you can to extract. But if you're looking at it in a long-term, like a long-term mass adoption kind of play, I think you have to look at it not as how much do we get right now, but how can we retain people for the long term to be excited now, but also be able to build upon that to enter new communities and get people excited up front, but also have lingering effects like different digital wearables and rewards and brand activations and things like that that could excite people over the long term, so that you get this more organic type of community building, as opposed to just trying to get as much out the door as you can right away and not focus as much on a core group of early supporters. So again, like it's an easy thing to say in terms of, hey, I think that maybe it's a little expensive, or maybe the supply is too high, or whatever it is to a founder. But like, that's what I'm here to do, try to not be a yes man, but just say what I think is the deal. And if he disagreed and didn't want to go with it, it doesn't hurt my feelings. But at the same time, like, I think that there was so many different iterations from the front, like from the beginning, in terms of like we had 3 different tiers and different activations and different things like that, that I think would complicate it in terms of just like, you do a gold pass and you get access to this many things, and silver this many things. I think if you just have one that incorporates a lot of value, like the access to other collections that are not just the NFT you own, but it's more of a group membership pass to this studio that's being created. And that was a thing. And to this day, I tell Mark, I'm as much as I love the ape filter and using it and everything, I'm
the tech. We know.
Yeah.
We know.
I think the tech is fantastic, and that's to me where the long-term vision resides.
And to hit back with that with you is that now I am seeing that vision, and I'm open to thank you that like you open that vision up to me, to Filter, and then along with the rebranding, where we started from, Ben. Yep. So like those combination of things, like you really opened our eyes to like, hey, there's this group that we can pretty much guarantee if we can get this group, you know what I mean? And the lingering effect, what I wanted to say was, I think this is the lingering effect. Come 5 months from now, 3 months from now, when there's a whole bunch of other filters, they're going to be like, well, where does it start? Oh, all the Bored Apes have it. there's an OG pass, and there's some on, you know, they might be on OpenSea at that time, and they're gonna go back. So Bored Ape Yacht Club will be tied to this because it was made by apes, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and if you really think about it, you know, I was talking with somebody last week, but the approach we chose to do, like with the 555, really OG Bored Apes. I mean, it's the biggest collection out there. You know, it's a big thing. Okay, I'm lost. I wanted to go somewhere, but it's not the toilet.
Can I throw something in?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
It's hard to work with apes.
Oh.
That's 100%.
It's ready to go.
Yeah.
How many
It has our own app.
Right. And it's Hopium, hopes and dreams. We're working on this, you know, best luck case scenario. This is done.
Yeah. It is.
And,
it is.
Somebody just put it in. You're buying into the studio and everything else and the science and the tech behind it. Like that's what we were talking about earlier with the AR and how things are, you know, I made a post on, like, you know, old people, social media, Facebook, because that's, you know, my generation. And I made a quote and I said, if you're not using AI and AR, you're already behind. And
yeah, especially AI. Yeah.
Right? As soon as you got the mint, you got the app, you're a content creator with a character.
Well, see, that's the thing too with Benjamin. What I was saying was that, like, okay, like Benjamin has had a long history of being an OG and being there through multiple rugs, people getting fucked on the space. He's having to see these people go through this trauma. So his whole thing is like, let me protect these people from making these stupid mistakes, right? But at the same time, right, when you have shit, Mark. You made me lose my train of thought.
I'm sorry, bro. So let me continue because I got it back on the rail again. So we're working too hard, bro. I mean,
go.
No, but you know, if you look at what Elon Musk did with Tesla, right? I never realized that, but he you know, how could he go for mass adoption? First, he launched like a slick sedan, like, you know, super, and show the world, okay, this can be an electric car, right? That was his way in. And basically, we're doing more or less the same because it's a very small supply. It's very, very, you know, high level. We focus on the biggest project out there.
It's serious.
And now, you know, and that's why I'm so excited at this stage, because the heavy lifting is done. All the software is done. And now we can just, you know, it's a machine now that generate. We can.
Okay, I got mine back.
Okay, so I'm done. Go, boy.
Okay, so like Benjamin's been through the weeds, right? So when he comes to like an actual NFT project that already has its own application, already accepted on the App Store, the filters live here, there's multiple filters coming, open up to third party and bringing in building digital wearables, having a marketplace, like that's a completely different NFT project than I've ever seen before. And unless, Ben, you have more experience.
No, I think one of the things that are unique in the space are companies that come with something already existing before they sell the NFT. I was actually having a conversation with some of my friends about this the other day, and I think one of the things that would really put a little bit more optimism towards the industry are plays like Starbucks, for example. I'm just going to use like coffee as an example. So Starbucks comes in, you know, it's not just about the name recognition, but it's the fact that they already have a pre-existing business and can give you access to things that they've already put the time in developing, put the work in, and they have created that brand that people can resonate with. And even if they have never been to Starbucks before, they say, all right, well, now I have this opening with this new Web3 brand. Like, let me go try out what they've already been creating. It's a lot different from, you know, a NFT project that says, hey, we like coffee, but we're going to sell you the NFTs first. We're going to take the money. Then we're going to go source coffee. Then we're going to go start supply chain. And then we're going to start packaging and everything like that. And then, you know, 6 months to a year from now, we'll start telling you about when things will open up. And I think that's something we've seen too much of in this space, where people sell the NFT and then think of what to do afterwards, as opposed to having the thoughts, the development, and the planning done up front, and then selling in order to keep funds, keep a longer runway, and actually enhance the vision that they were creating. So to have a product that's already built out here, and it's a little bit similar to gaming. A lot of people sold NFTs and then said we're working on the game. I like seeing the games that are available and say, all right, we're selling NFTs now in order to increase and upgrade what the experience is. And so that kind of approach that you have here, where there's something already created that you have access to day one, and even before the NFTs, like we're using this now. Right. So to be able to say I can buy it and use it right away, I think is very important, and something that is just lacking in general in the space. And Mark having success previously in Web 2, having people on his team who have not just had success in Web 2, but have been with him a long time, so they know each other well, I think was very important to me, at least in terms of being an advisor and being a customer or a consumer. So I think that the ready to go product is something that needs to happen more in the space for people to have more trust in the long-term vision.
Well, I can't wait to chop that up.
And I do agree. And I think it's going to happen also. I mean, a change. What you see now, and this is my personal opinion, but I've been in different sectors in the IT industry, right? And in the beginning, there's a lot of hype and a lot of success, and then it goes down, and then you have like a shakeout period, and that's where the boy separate from the man. Is that how you say it? But that's like where you see a shift. But the real builders and who are willing to put their own money into the investment and start building. And I do think that we will see a change in the space. Maybe it's not very quick. It goes very, 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 very gradual. But I do think it's going to change a lot, because I mean, people don't buy those projects anymore. I mean, if they see, okay, it's just all in the air, and maybe this, maybe that, that's just, people don't accept that with valid reasons. So guys, let's go a little bit into token proof. Okay, so we already did some explaining about what we're going to do, but token proof, it's fairly known under the basic community, but basically it gives you a lot of security to mint or to validate your bases in the wallet without connecting your actual cold wallet of hot wallet, no, cold wallet. So we are using token proof. To mint, it's important to know that you don't need token proof. And why not? Because all the bases who did sign up for the allow list already, we have their minting address, right? So that's whitelisted. So, if you go to the mint page on the 31st, then the only thing you need to do is...
What an exit.
Yeah, he's going out with a bang.
A comment I wanted to make on the token proof, though, Mark, so that everybody knows, is that this is not just a simple in the background what's actually going on. I think I said a little bit of this last week, is that this is not like, oh, I mint this NFT and then like I go to use the product and then it just checks the one NFT. Oh, you have the OG 55 pass. No, this also behind the technology. And that's why, it was difficult, but worth it to do it through token proof, was to have it where it's the least, it's the simplest for the user, for you, right? So that,
and the safest,
and it's the safest, and that way, so what it's working on the back end is, once you go to get into the application, it's going to run check if you have the OG 55 pass, like a normal NFT. But then it's also going to do another thing. It's going to go check the wallet that you have the Bored Ape Yacht Club in as well, to verify that. Okay. So if you don't have that ape in there, we'll say like prep to pros, right? And he has like 4 or 5 apes or whatever. We'll say he sells one, right? Well, when he goes to load his app, it's going to go and check the OG55 pass, and then it's going to go check his wallet. It's going to notice he has one missing. So he'll get his 4, but he won't get that 5th one. That's how secure we are. I just want to say that.
Yeah. No, that's actually the way to do it, and the way how we do it, and that works also, for example, with the digital wearables, right? Because these are independent NFTs. So if these digital wearables, either you won them or you bought them, if they are in the same wallet, then they appear also in the application, and then you can start wearing it and.
Dope
Yeah,
shit,
so
dude. It already works, bro. I mean, I don't know how people fuck.
No, listen, this is just the beginning, you know. That's the good part, you know. I mean, we already have something going on here. I mean, it's when we have these talks before we actually do the space, right? And everybody's in there. We're having like a blast. And this is like very small still. But can you imagine if you have 555 bases there? Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna do, you know, big ass meetings or spaces live, you know, where I don't know how many cameras the technology can handle, Chris, but probably 20 or not 20, 30. Is that possible?
We'd have to get Zoom.
I think we got up to 12 if I have the enterprise software here for StreamYard, but I don't know. But that
ain't gonna cut it, Chris. We're gonna have to upgrade.
No. That's not enough, bro.
We'll have like 5 spaces going that each have 12.
We'll stream to each other, so it'll be like 12 times 12 times 12.
It'll be like Inception.
We'll rig it, bro. Yeah, we'll just be like.
Yeah, no, but we will tackle that. But there will be a day and a time where we have like maybe 50 apes like this live, right? And we can do you know all kinds of things, which is pretty dope. So another thing to mention that's. The filter application will be available in the App Store. Yeah, it's not there yet, but it's going to be there probably a few days after the mint. But there is one minor, I mean, it's not a big thing, but I want to start mentioning this to the people. And like eight months ago, Apple made an announcement and they changed their terms and conditions in terms of showcasing NFTs. And what did they basically change? They do allow NFTs because that was the big question on a certain moment. You know, okay, are they going to ban NFTs? They don't ban NFTs. You are allowed to showcase NFTs in an iOS application, but what's not possible is when you use the core technology of Apple, yeah, then you need to pay. So immediately that was like something, okay, what are we going to do with this? Because, you know, you already pay an NFT. And then we got into talks with Apple. And, you know, we came to the conclusion that, okay, it's best just to ask a one-time fee. So when you download the application, you pay $2.99 and that's it. But that basically allows us to do what we want to do. So people need to be aware. I mean, it's just $3, but still, you know, it's something what needs to be paid to activate everything. But that's out of our hands, you know. It's not to make an extra buck.
That's a really good point to make because maybe some people would try to sneak that by. You know, oh, it's only $3. We're not even going to mention it, whatever. But see, Filter has more of a higher standard than that. And so we want to make sure everybody knows that it's going to cost $3 and it has to cost $3 because we have to use the technology. We're using the front facing camera with their facial tracking software. You know what I mean? Like it's part of Filter. So that's where it comes from. So if it was up to us, we'd give it away for free. I absolutely know Mark would. We're going to give a lot of stuff for free. So that's why we're hoping that the OG55 pass, we loaded it up just kind of how Benjamin said was like, you know, hey, load this thing up. And make them like, hey, this is well more than worth it. By the time the second mint comes, you're already got 2 filters for the price of 1, basically. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, we have probably like 5 projects on the shelf, different characters and stuff like that you're going to get, and digital wearables you're going to get. So, you know, being an OG and being in the beginning is where it's at. Because who knows where we go from here?
Yeah, no, exactly. Well said, my friend. So let's dive a little bit into the mint. Yeah, he's my brother, Kimo, my brother of another mother. He's always behind me, catching me. No, he's great. So the mint process. Let me just explain a little bit what's going on there. So we're gonna mint on the 31st of July. It still looks good for the 31st. You know, we're pushing a lot, but I think we will be able to mint. So the minting will be done on the Board Filter website. So that's boardfilter.io and then /mint. It's not live yet, but it will be live and communicated. So we are going to organize 3 rounds of minting. Okay. It starts on the 31st. And the first round, sorry, is only for Bored Ape holders. Yeah, so everybody's on the list. So everybody can mint 1 NFT in those 24 hours. Okay, so that's round 1. Then we have round 2, which is also for the BASI holders, the same group. But if we don't sell out in round 1, which I don't expect, you know, because we do over allocate a little bit, but you know, let's see what happens. But in round 2, people, the bases, can buy another one if they want. And I had a lot of requests of people asking that. So, you know, we want to give them the opportunity in round 2 to buy another OG pass if they want. So, and then we have a 3rd round. So I don't know what's going to happen if there's still something left, you know. It's a crazy
There's
market.
not going to be anything left. I don't even know why he's talking this way. Look, well, if you guys don't get in on the first round, it's going to be over. This thing's not 24 hours isn't that long. And we did it that way because we are global. We got people in China, Philippines, Europe, Asia, all kinds of places. And we had to make it okay for everybody to do. And that's what they were requesting. So if you don't get in the first, I mean, good luck even trying to find it on secondary market, because this is not going to be like any NFT and be like, oh, I'm going to grab it. I'm going to throw it up on the market and flip it. What are you going to flip? You're flipping into a Bored Ape. We've had the hardest time getting in touch with Bored Apes already. Who are you going to flip it to? If you're not already here, you're late. Just like Canna said, you're late.
Okay, so in the rare, let's say, if there is a rare opportunity in the 3rd round, yeah, then it's open for everybody, because I got a lot of requests also of people who don't have a BASI. And I've been thinking a lot and talking a lot with the team about this. But, you know, to keep it, the thing is this, you know, the allow list is open for 3.5 months. Yeah. So you had all the time to put yourself on the list, you know, and I think, you know, it's just fair for all the support we get of all the people who are every day in the Discord, who don't have a BYC and just still with us, you know, waiting for Mr. Annan, and also asking us, can we buy a pass, because we want to invest in Filter. We want to have those free mints in the future. So for that reason, I thought, okay, let's, if it works out, in a very rare case that we have a few left, and the 3rd round is there for everyone. So you can still buy a pass. And if you don't succeed with that, probably there's maybe something on secondary. But I do agree with Kimo that, you know, I think it's going to be pretty interesting. And the first round,
I got bets going. We don't make it out of the first round already in the company. I'm already taking bets, and these guys, I'm telling you, dude, I'm the most bullish here, and I'm so early, and you don't even know how early you are. How early you are is you're picking this up in a bear market when Ape is at its lowest. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be cheap.
Now it's an opportunity. I tell it to everybody. If you really think about, I mean, you know, I can't name any numbers how many characters we have lined up, because, you know, but we have a lot, and I've been busy with a lot of characters, and every character will have its own collection. And you know, sometimes people say, yeah, but if you throw out too much, you know, you're diluting the others and this and that. But in my opinion and my view is that the bigger opportunity here is to help push the space forward towards mainstream adoption. And I think filters actually have like a fair opportunity to showcase people, okay, it's not a picture you're buying as an NFT, it's something much more. So for that reason, we just need to have thousands and thousands of filters out there, people using them on TikTok. You know, people can buy them in the application and they don't even know that they're buying an NFT, because that's the vision I have, to have a marketplace there. You buy with dollars, with the credit card, and you buy an NFT without even knowing this. So the onboarding will be there. Yeah, so I mean, interesting stuff. You know, I think for now we have a space. Let me see, on Sunday at 3 p.m. EST, and it's an AMA. So we're going to dive in more into, you know, all of the details, and people can ask questions. I think that's also important.
Love it. Hey, and I don't want to forget though, because I know we're getting close to wrapping up, but make sure that you have got a chance to retweet that ambassador video. If you're still listening, if you've been here the whole time and you haven't done it, number one, why? Number two, don't forget, get it done. We want somebody to win some bucks. Chemo, do you want me to share this thing? I see.
Yes. Mark knows nothing, but this is like from a long time ago. And I wanted to put this video. It's behind the scenes, right? Only here on Filter Friday. And I'm going to play it. And it's just a little tiny clip of just the dynamics that I want to show. And this is raw. This is like probably beta 10 ago. Okay. So it looks way better than it does right now. But I want to show you guys this real quick.
Holy shit.
Oh, we can't hear it. You know.
This is 2 years ago, man. Longer than 2 years ago, I think.
Look at that.
That's crazy.
Look at that.
Yeah. It's actually a good-looking guy, eh? Like this. Yeah, that's the dynamics in the hair. Yeah, Mr. Annan, it's I mean, I love it, you know. It's the whole collection is super cool.
Though, and that's why I'm saying, like this is just like the beginning. You get your OG pass, that thing's coming. You can hire somebody, you can hire an actor, put this thing on, make some content, and it's just chugging. ChatGPT, I want to be a YouTube star. How do I do it?
You know what's interesting, by the way? I saw a demo today of Unity, and they are doing a lot of investment and into AI. And there is a possibility now in the beta. I don't have access to the beta yet, but where you type a text, and then the character explains it. He tells you the text. Like what we are doing now, all the facial tracking is done by the AI. Wow. So you can actually, and you can also connect ChatGPT. So let him do all the talking. I mean, it's crazy because, you know, in 12 months from now, you know, you see maybe the same, but we're not there. It's our AI doing this stuff. It's ridiculous, but it's going really fast, and it's pretty exciting to be a part of that. And Unity is the language, right? That's what we build its whole thing in. So,
I just want to extend on that. Like, okay, so they had when they were building Filter, they had to decide what engine they were going to use. He obviously knew he wanted a gaming engine, but there was pros and cons to each engine, right? Unreal Engine, Unity engine, there's pros and cons to each. They chose Unity, and what a fucking hit out of the park. Because not only does Apple come out with their Pro Vision and say, we're using Unity. What's the other one that just came out, Mark, that's using Unity? We just were talking about it. It was the one that you're talking about with the AI that makes the thing. They're in Unity too.
That's Unity. That's Unity itself. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, we as Filter chose the right technology that's going to be the future now. You know what I mean? So that means we're in. That means like the people who are on Unreal Engine want to participate in something like this. It's not going to happen. They're going to have to change their whole thing. And believe me, when Mark was building this, he built an entire infrastructure to handle the mass and the scale and the volume that this is going to take to have 555 of these things, you know, you're streaming live, you're doing whatever, you know what I mean? That's the depth of where Filter goes, and we're ready for the future. That's why we chose the Unity gaming engine.
Yeah. Yeah, and what we are also building is like a huge marketing machine in the same time, because the generator, what it does is it generates the videos, right? All the videos you see, but it can do it en masse. And what we did now is, thanks to Elon again, he changed the whole dynamic with the API and what you're capable of doing. And when you have a membership with the dev accounts of Twitter, then you can connect. We did connect the generator to Twitter. Yeah. So what happens is that if we have a new digital wearable, for example, the generator generates 10,000 apes with that digital wearable, and it's immediately sent to all the Twitter users. Yeah.
Damn.
And that's just one of the small things, you know, what we are doing. So and it's all about mass. You know, I can't emphasize enough that, you know, if you really want to do things big, you need to create mass. And what we are doing now, it's very limited because it's board days, but believe me, I can't wait to start pumping, honestly.
We don't have a lot of Fridays left, boys. You know,
one Friday left.
That's
it.
it.
10 days from now. 10 days. We are at day 10 right now. Tomorrow's 9, and you guys know what comes after that, dude. We'll be counting down.
Exciting, guys. Exciting.
Yeah,
so I mean, anybody who's listening or watching the stream, or, you know, who's doing the checks the recording, my DMs are always open for everybody. I answer every DM. You know, if there are questions, I mean, I'm always there. So if you want to have a talk, you know, I'm there. Just go for it. You know, let's do it together.
The first video tweet out from the space already. So a minute ago, I went through. I took the clip of Ben just dropping heat.
I was just looking at that. Yeah,
so,
dude.
I don't know. We're trying, man. We're trying to get this content out there, but yeah, a couple more.
It's a dream team, Chris, with you also in the house, baby.
Thank you, man.
All right, Filter Friday. Let's go.
Hey, so last call. If you have not done that thing, hey, you know what? I'm gonna be selfish. Why don't you retweet my post too? Let's get.
I just retweeted it.
Then let's retweet. But I'm not gonna give you $250. Just so you know.
Damn,
not gonna happen. But somebody's gonna win $250. So make sure that you've got that ambassador video out there. Hey man, this is always fun. My cheeks. I need to go watch like a horror movie or something because I've been smiling for 2 hours. And I don't have a mask on to not hold my face in a nice way like you guys. You can look however you want. I'm just sitting here smiling for 2 hours and nodding. My face hurts. I appreciate everybody here. This was a blast. Big shout out for Filter, for the whole crew, everybody behind the scenes. What you guys don't know is there are people in the background that are making sure that the right questions are being asked and the right guests are here and that all this stuff is lined up. So
it's like a real show.
I just show up and basically hit record and I'm like, all right, cool, let's have a good time. Everybody else is just like working under the surface. So
and that's a very good point, Chris, because, you know, it's not just, you know, having a laugh. There's a lot going on behind the scene. I mean, you are very passionate about your content creation, educating people. And you know, that's like a perfect fit for us because, you know, it's all about this. It's not only about a mask, but also, okay, how do you want to communicate and what tools do you use and how can you present yourself and give an example? Like, you know, I mean, it's still small, but this will grow bigger and bigger and bigger, step by step. So it's great to have you, Chris, and the rest also, obviously. Thanks, guys. A lot.
Later. 10 days.
Shout out, everybody. 10 days.
Ciao.
Friday. Next Friday. Take care.
Peace.